Welcome to the B&B Blueprint. My name is Investor Mike. In this training, I'm going to share with you how to get your first or next Airbnb in just a few days. We're not talking about months. We're not talking about years. I'm going to share with you how to do it very, very quickly with a method I've been teaching for many, many years. Number one, we don't have to buy the property. Number two, you don't even have to use your credit to do this. And lastly, I'm going to share with you how to do this without even furnishing the property. See, what we do is we just go to a landlord and we say, listen, we want to rent your property. These are traditional people, homeowners who are looking to rent their property, and they're willing to allow us to put their property on short-term rental platforms like Airbnb and vrbo, etc. If you love the 9-to-5 and your major goal in your life is to continue your path in your 9-to-5, this will not be a training for you. If you don't want a secondary stream of income, definitely would not watch this video as well. This is for people who are looking for more time freedom back in their life, an additional stream to what they're doing so they can eventually replace that. Don't take my word for it. There's a lot of things I can share with you right now. You'll see my students, lots of students, just crushing it right now using this exact method. So take a look at these few right here. Again, my name is Investor Mike. I've been doing real estate for about 21 years. I've done everything from wholesaling to fix and flip, seller financing, sub-2 deals, creative financing, millions of dollars in apartments, and I landed the last 8.5 years in a method I'm going to teach you today about called rental arbitrage. Okay, I became the #1 Airbnb coach last year in March, and I want to help you guys win the game. So pay attention. This is not about me. This is about you and what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to walk away from a 9-to-5 eventually. Maybe you just want an additional stream. Maybe you're somebody who knows you can do better in life, but you're held back because you're not in the right vehicle. This is called the travel professional method, and I'm the only one in the country teaching it this way. I'm going to give you guys a visual so you can see how this is actually done. Imagine what a typical Airbnb landlord would think, or what you think about when you think of Airbnb. You think of parties, trash in a place, neighbors complaining. And the reason for that is because you have a large property. For example, you didn't know, you think that if you can fit more people into an Airbnb, you can make more money, right? Wrong. Let's say you have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. What do you think that a 4-bedroom, 2-bath property is going to bring in? Well, you're probably going to bring in 8 people, 2 people for each room, maybe a pull-out couch. Now you got 10 people coming into a property. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to have parties. The place is going to get trashed. Neighbors are going to be complaining. There's going to be drugs, drinking, people loud all night going in and out of the front door, 5 o'clock in the morning screaming. Neighbors are going to complain, and you're going to have your Airbnb shut down. This is called a vacation rental. All because of the size of the property, you're attracting parties. I'm going to teach you a method how to go get a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom at most. Now, why is this important? Because the smaller the property, closer to the 4 H's, which we're going to talk about, you're going to draw in a completely different clientele. While over here in the 4-bedroom, you got parties. I got travel professionals, travel nurses, doctors, chiropractors, business professionals, and patients from the local hospital. For example, if I have a 1-bedroom property, my average clientele or guest that comes in might be someone like a 75-year-old couple who's coming in through back surgery. Do you think they're there to party, trash the place, be loud all night, complain and yelling at 5 o'clock in the morning, trashing the place? No. In fact, they are there to rest after surgery. And this is because the property is small. You don't have a lot of parties in a 1-bedroom property. Now, if you can get it right next to the hospital, which I'm going to teach you in a method, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to draw in the travel professionals and patients. Also, you have consistent bookings all year long. So a lot of people ask me, well, how is it that your students have the best occupancy? Because people don't say, I'm not going to back surgery because it's cold. They're coming in because they need to work, or they're coming in because they're in pain and need somewhere to rest. They're not there because of a season, or they want to look and sightsee the place, or coming in for a party specifically. These people are the exact opposite. They're coming in to work, or they're coming in because they are resting after surgery. The clientele completely changes. In fact, they're not coming to party, trash the place, and do drugs and mess with neighbors. They're there to sleep or rest. And they're willing to pay top dollar as well. This is the method called the 4 H's. Now, what does that mean? Hills, hotels, hospitals, H2O. The hills, mountains, chalets, cabins, any type of wooded area like that are typically going to do well for Airbnb. Hotels, you want to be around the nice ones, the Marriotts, the Hiltons, the DoubleTrees, the Sheratons, not the rinky-dink Motel 6s or the small $99 ones, because if you can get around the nicer hotels, you're going to take the lion's share of the business because people don't want to pay $400 a night. And you're going to have a small property that you're going to charge somewhere between $100 and $200 a night. And I'll talk about that in a minute. The third thing is the lane I've been playing. I can teach any of these methods, but I teach a method that I've been using for 9 years as well called the hospital game. This is where we got travel nurses, doctors, chiropractors, business professionals, and patients. Why? The hospital is what brings in the clientele. Remember that if people are in pain or traveling in for work, they're not there to vacation, and so they're willing to pay top dollar. It also has consistent bookings all year long because the hospital stays full. And lastly, it's called the H2O. Now, this is a method where if we can get a property that has a pool or a hot tub at the property, you're likely to do much better than any other Airbnb because people want water. When people are searching on Airbnb to come in as a traveler, their number one thing they're looking for is a pool. Number two is a hot tub. Number three is a king bed. Number four is a game room. If we can be in front of any of these, which I'll show you guys a hot tub hack as well, you got an unbelievable property. What I do is I try to combine the two H's, which are hospitals, with a property that might have a hot tub or pool, and it's game over. Okay, so you see the difference between a 4-bedroom? You think you can fit more people, and yeah, and you're gonna have parties and your place is going to get wrecked. And what happens when your place gets wrecked and neighbors are complaining? They go to the city, they go to HOA, they go to the homeowner, this is not gonna happen anymore, and you get your place shut down. I've been a superhost for 9 years with a 5-star rating. I've been doing this since 2016, guys. I figured out a method that nobody else is using, and my students have been absolutely a reward of the method that I've been teaching for many years now to help you guys. This is a method where literally we have occupancy is so good, because think about it, they're not coming in to party. They have to come in to work, and nobody wants to stay at a hotel, right? Think about a travel nurse. They don't want a hotel. They want to have their doors slamming back and forth at 5 o'clock in the morning when they have to work all day. Most of the travel professionals we have are working during the night and they sleep during the day. Imagine a rinky-dink 300 square foot hotel with people closing the street and the doors all day long. No. And what about a patient who just went through surgery? Do you think they want to stay in a hotel? Why? Why would they stay in a hotel when they have an Airbnb that has a full kitchen, not a little tiny refrigerator, and they can stay in an Airbnb and they can be alone and not have people up all night slamming doors? They're resting from surgery. This is the method I'm going to show you guys, and this is the method I've been using for many years, and my students, and I teach you this method, and they're very, very successful because of it. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is easy for you, Mike. You've been doing this since 2016. And well, it is easy. I have a 16-year-old son who actually does this as well. He just can't sign contract because he's not old enough yet. Okay, and I understand that I need to meet you where you're at, because when I started, I could barely spell the word Airbnb in 2016. But that's why I want to help you. So what I did is I cleared some space. If you click the link below, hop on a 15-minute call with me. Let me share with you what we do, how it works. No strings attached. You'll see the link below where you can book a call with me right now. Sometimes in life, when one door closes, another one opens up. And maybe you're watching this video right now and you're like, I need that door to open up in my life because I feel like I'm overworked and underpaid and I'm working a 9 to 5 and I'm not even really appreciated. There's over 70% of people that are unengaged at work right now in America. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, look, that's me. I did it for 31 years. So on the day I was 31 years old, I said, I can't do this anymore. I was overworked and unappreciated. And a buddy of mine came to me and goes, what are you doing? And I said, I don't know what I'm doing in my life, but here's what I do know. I'm being treated unfair, and I was making $106,000 a year. It wasn't the money part. It was just that I was getting out of bed cold every day, traveling 30, 40 minutes to work. And then I don't even feel like I'm making any impact in people's lives the whole time. So maybe you're watching this right now and you're like, I don't even want to be in my 9 to 5. I would love to get away out of the 9 to 5 eventually. Well, here's an opportunity of a lifetime for you, because I'm going to tell you something, guys. My first year in entrepreneurship, I did $547,000 a year. And I'm going to tell you something. The way that you do this is you focus on you. You focus on you. And then remember, this is not about me. It's about you guys getting the goal, the achievement that you're looking for. I've got Sasha, who came to me literally about a month ago and closed 4 deals this month, right? I got Greg, who closed his first deal in 48 hours. And then last week, we just broke a record, 17 hours coming on board me, closing their very first Airbnb. Because remember, we're not buying the property. We don't have to go to a bank to buy the property. We're simply going to a landlord right on Zillow, which I'm going to show you how to do. On Zillow, finding landlords who are in pain because they've had a property listed. Here's your gem. They've had a property listed for a long time. And now they've been paying their mortgage. They've been paying their utilities. They've been paying their taxes, and they can't rent their property. And then we come to them and say, we're a corporate leasing company. We have travel nurses, doctors, etc. And now they're willing, because they're desperate, to rent a property to us. And us as the Airbnb host, and you as a potential Airbnb host or your next property, we are going to capitalize on people that are in pain so that we can get our first or our next property very quickly. I remember telling you this earlier, but I'm going to recap. My students do not have to worry about paying their first month of rent. My students do not have to worry about furnishing their property. And my students do not have to worry about any documentation or even using their credit. Guys, it took me years to figure out to be around the 4 H's. But primarily what I'm going to show you how to do is just get around a nice hospital. Every major city that I tell you to go to, I've already got cleaners set up there. I've already got maintenance set up there. Whatever you need, I've got a Rolodex over the 9 years to support you, to make sure that you go in as turnkey as possible. Remember, the property's already furnished. If you have a property that's already furnished next to the hospital, you're not paying your first month of rent, you're not furnishing the property, and you don't even have to pay rent to get into it. You're operating in the black immediately. immediately. Well, what if nobody shows up? I knew you were going to ask that question before you said it. And here's the answer to that. That's a very rookie question. Most people think this, that if you set up an Airbnb, what if nobody shows up? Do I have to pay the rent? Yeah, you got to pay the rent. But it also tells me that you're flying alone. You're jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Of course you could do Airbnb yourself. I would never tell anybody they can't do this themselves. Here's what I will tell you. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to do things by yourself. There's no I in team. Okay, I always tell people that you're going to spend anywhere between $3,000 and $7,000 more right on the front end than what you do working with me and me having the number one coach walk you through every step of the process. Because software, first month, last month security, you've got furnishing. Those things are off the table. As working with me, you get an opportunity to have those things removed off the front end, which I'll explain on our call. So anyway, you'll see a link down below, guys. It's no strings attached. Schedule a quick jump on me for 5-10 minutes. Let me share with you how this works. If it doesn't make sense, great. If it does, you guys have that door that you can walk through. Now, I'm not saying go quit a 9-to-5. Here's what I am telling you. Keep the 9-to-5. And then what you would like to do is get a couple rental property. I just told you, Sasha got 4 properties this month. Liz closed a property in 17 hours, and Greg was hold the record before that at 48 hours, guys. That means this month you should be closing a property. This isn't not months and years. This is a very scalable game on top of it. I'm going to automate the process for you. So if you're spending more than 5-10 minutes a day, you've overworked. I literally spend 15 minutes a day working on a portfolio. I go in the morning, and by 9:15, I'm done. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Keep the 9-to-5 right now. That's your cash flow. Get a couple rental properties. Start building up Airbnb rentals over here. And maybe in the quick near future, you may go bye-bye and take out the 9-to-5, because it doesn't make sense to go put 40 hours over here building somebody else's dreams. After you get a couple rental properties, you may say, it doesn't make sense to put the time over here. Why don't I just do it over here now? So you would wait till your income either meets or exceeds where you're spending your 40 hours at. And over here may take you 10-15 minutes a day at most with the method I'm going to show you, because I've automated it. And then you can wave bye-bye and you can get more time freedom back in your life, so you can spend it with your kids and your family and your wife, your husband, etc. That's what I want to do for you guys, and I'm going to share you again. The link is below, no strings attached. Pop on a 5-10 minute call with me. Let me share with you how this does. Let me show you how it works. You're going to be brilliantly surprised on how easy this really is once you learn the method. Are you tired of the 9-to-5 and being overworked and underpaid and really unappreciated? Or maybe you're not even engaged and you know you can do more for you and your family? Then literally, there's a link right below. Click the link, hop on my schedule for a few minutes, and see if it makes sense for us to work together. If not, it's okay. But sometimes you take the action needed to open up that door that otherwise wasn't put in front of you before. Remember, Warren Buffett said this, it's not how hard you row, it's what boat you're in. Because if hard work was the answer, then people digging ditches and doing roofing would all be millionaires. They're hard worker people. It's not hard work. It's hard work with smart work in combination. And the thing about Airbnb arbitrage, because it's so scalable, because we're just renting the property, it allows us to scale very quickly for the simple reason we're not going to a bank to do this. We're just going to Jack and Jill, who own 123 in Nashville. And we're just going to them and saying, hey, listen, we would love to rent your property. And here's a little bit about what we do. It's very simple. I've automated the process, and I would love to talk to you just for a few minutes to share with you what we do. So again, click the link below, get in, let's rock and roll, and let me share with you how I can help you change your life forever. Maybe you're at a 9-to-5 right now, and eventually you want to walk away, or maybe you're an entrepreneur already and you're just looking for something new or an additional. This is the greatest opportunity I've ever found, and I would love to share with you. So again, just click the link below. You'll see the little scheduling page below. Get on my calendar for a few minutes. Let's see if this makes sense for us to work together. Would love to talk to you. Super excited. My name is Investor Mike. As always, let's roll.